Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel Social Work is Life, where we talk about social work, LCSW test prep, and everything in between. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to set up the perfect environment for studying. Stay tuned. So if you guys are new to my channel, welcome and thank you for being here with me. I decided to start this YouTube channel after my several failed attempts at the LCSW test. I decided, why not take my failures and allow other people to learn from my mistakes? For me personally, I like to go ahead and study in a very comfortable environment. I like to set the mood, even with aromatherapy that I'm going to show you today. I like to just relax and open up my mind to the knowledge that I'm going to be receiving. As you guys know, I'm always going to be referring to the Therapist Development Center because it is amazing. I'm going to put the link below. It definitely allowed me to pass my LCSW exam, and I believe it's also available for the LMFT exam. I just want to make sure that we are clear whether you're using the Therapist Development Center or any other type of study material or program recordings. You need to make sure that you have a very comfortable environment. Now, there are those people that sit at the kitchen table or they sit at a desk and they're able to go at it. That is just definitely not me. So I decided to go ahead and find a place in my home that is comfortable. Now, I do want you to note that I have a husband and a kid. I have 2 kids. And let me tell you, sometimes it's not easy to test and actually get into that testing mindset when you have people at home. For all you guys that are single or that don't have kids yet, kudos to you. No, let me stop. But it is a lot easier for you to study when you don't have distractions and you don't have to cook and you don't have to tend to the kids. So anyways, on a tangent, here we go. The first thing I did even before studying was I prayed. I prayed for God to allow the knowledge to sink into my mind. I prayed to God to allow me to pass this test because I have failed it 3 times before. So I prayed that His will be done in my life. So the second thing that I did was I made sure that I had my snack and my drink. I made sure that I chose something that I don't usually drink just because I wanted it to be different. I just poked myself in the face. I used the same cup. I don't know if it's just me or what. My brain just seems to gravitate to the same thing when I was studying. My straw, and that was that. And of course, my cottage cheese with fruits. Don't judge me. The third thing that I did was I researched what type of essential oils help with concentration, with focus. And I found out that a mixture of a couple of different oils actually work. And again, it just sets the mood for me. It makes me relax. Honestly, I want to go study in a place where I feel comfortable, where I am open to whatever knowledge I'm going to be receiving. I don't want to be in a stiff chair, in a hard desk, because that's my life during work hours. So I use a combination of clove oil, peppermint, and orange, and that was such a delicious combination. I'll go ahead and make sure that I link those below, but it was just amazing. And my diffuser, honestly, I got my diffuser from Five Below, and it's $5, and I just loved it. I loved it because it set the mood. I was in my comfortable chair. I had my drink and my snack. I had my diffuser going on, and I was ready to roll. So you probably saw in the beginning of the video that I had some note cards. Before I even did the note cards, I actually filled up my notebook first. And then I went ahead and used my notebook along with the audios. Again, listening to it, I think I listened to it to like 20 times, like 30 times. I would also listen to it in the car. I would listen to it while I was in the shower. I would listen to it while I was cooking. I was listening to audios like all the time. Mainly, I was listening to the diagnoses, honestly, because that's really what a lot of it was. And that's where I felt I kind of struggled a little bit with the differentials of the diagnoses. And in the therapist development program, they did have the ability to slow down the speech or to increase the speech, make it go faster. For me, I actually slowed it down because I was writing while they were doing their audio recordings. So I wanted to get as much detail as I could. Doesn't mean that you're slow. It just means that you want to really pay attention to those details. So I definitely highly recommend that you guys take advantage of the little turtle icon and the rabbit icon. There's nothing worse than having to go back and rewind all the time to try to make sure that you get all the information. So definitely use that, because I did, and it was a lifesaver. The other thing that I did was, instead of getting a really cute notebook or a small notebook, I honestly just got a regular spiral notebook because it's easy for me to turn the pages that I really liked. And I just started going from there. Anyways, going back to my note cards, these are my note cards, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's a lot. Or maybe some of you are like, oh my gosh, that's too little. I color coordinated in my mind. I've always had kind of a photogenic memory. Not sure if that's really accurate, but we're going with it. I had color coordinated because I felt that in the test, if I remembered what Piaget was and I knew that it was in a blue card, it would go ahead and trigger what was on that card for me. And I had another friend of mine that said that it really did work. It's just easier and it's pleasing to the eye. And again, it's all about that comfort factor. You never want to do something when it's boring, when it's stale. It's just not fun. So it wasn't just because they wanted to be cute and pretty. It was honestly a mechanism for me to remember what it was. So let me show you an example of the note cards. Don't know if you can really focus. Probably my camera's not really going to focus. So I would write the question or the statement in the front, and then I'd go ahead and I'd write the answer in the back. That way I can go ahead and read it without having to cover it. And then I would turn it around. And if I didn't know it, I would still turn it around and use it as a review. I actually used these while we were on vacation in the airplane. And it's a way for me to study quickly and just review it without having to turn on my phone or my computer. For example, this one is, what are 3 factors affecting mental health? I would turn it around. And it says biological, physiological, and social/environmental. And then I would have the definitions of it. So that's what I did with every single one. There were also other ones that I did, true or false. For example, this one is, sexual play for children younger than teens is normal. And I put true. And I would put that one right here because I didn't want to get confused with true or false. So I only made true or false statements true. I'm going to give you another example. Limits to confidentiality is discussed at the beginning. That is true. So I would put it there. That was true. So I had written it down first in my notebook. And then after I finished the whole thing, I started writing every single section down in my note cards along with my notebook and my audio, because some of us are visual learners, some of us are tactile or writing, and then some of us like to hear it. Well, I used all 3 of those. I would listen to the audio, I would write it down, and then I would also use my husband or my study partner, which is another great study tip. You guys need to find a study partner that is either on Facebook or live. My friend and I used to do Zoom calls or WhatsApp, and it was amazing because we would hold each other accountable, and it would also be a way for me to share with her what I learned. And then the last thing is, I'm going to repeat it like I did in my first videos, is make sure that you enjoy your life. Do we need to study? Absolutely. Do we want to pass this test? Yes. But you have to have a life study balance. And by that, I mean, if you can at least study 3 times a week, if you're going to push it 4 times a week, then that's fine. But don't feel guilty for the times that you spend with your family or times that you spend with friends or by yourself. It is totally normal. We need to do everything in moderation and have that positive attitude. Definitely having self-talk or a negative mindset is going to set you up for failure. The most important thing is you need to have a positive mind and know that you've got this. I hope that this video was helpful for you guys. The most important thing that you can get out of this whole video is make sure that you feel comfortable, that you have a comfortable space for you to study in, and it makes it fun, it makes it inviting, and it makes you want to go out there and spend those couple hours of studying. Make sure that you also try to do it within the same time frame during the day so that your mind, your body can get used to it. I also forgot to mention, let me know if at the end of each video you want me to go ahead and ask a sort of study question so that we can kind of start diving into that. Comment it below. Let me know. That's all for today. I hope that you guys have happy studying, that you passed the test, you've got this, and till the next time.